Have you ever felt a stirring certainty that our common humanity holds a profound purpose, as though every breath were part of a grand design that spans time and space? Many centuries ago, in a turbulent region under Roman rule, a teacher emerged calling himself the Son of Man. His words and actions pointed to a truth that soared beyond religious boundaries, a truth hinting at humanity's sacred responsibility to participate in something greater than themselves. At first glance, this title, Son of Man, seems rooted in a single spiritual context, yet when we place it alongside the concept of Dharma, the universal law and moral order known in Eastern traditions, a breathtaking tapestry of meaning begins to emerge. It is a tapestry that unites human frailty with divine potential, cosmic justice with intimate compassion, and asks each of us to consider our own place in the grand sweep of existence. In the next few moments, let us journey together into the heart of this idea. We will explore how the Son of Man illuminates our calling to uphold moral law, what role suffering might play in guiding us toward liberation, and how selfless leadership can restore balance to a world hungry for hope. As we delve into these interconnected themes, we may find ourselves challenged by the notion that our ordinary daily routines carry echoes of both the mortal and the divine, linking us to a universal story unfolding across millennia. Could it be that each person is invited to serve both neighbor and cosmos, grounded in humility while striving to reflect the beauty of love and truth? When Jesus referred to himself as the Son of Man, he was speaking words that reverberated with both the dust of mortality and the majesty of divine calling. In Daniel's vision, one like a Son of Man ascends with the clouds, receiving an eternal dominion destined to restore all things. Yet in the writings of the prophet Ezekiel, the phrase rings differently, emphasizing frail humanity set against the vast mystery of the Creator. This dual implication captures our imagination. A figure who is at once intensely human, walking, weeping, enduring hardship, and yet mysteriously bound to cosmic authority and a mission that transcends any one time or place. The power of this title lies in its ability to speak to every listener on two levels. On one hand, it reminds us that we are creatures of flesh and bone, susceptible to heartache, fear, and the limits of our own intellect. On the other, it beckons us to consider that we are also bearers of a higher purpose, imbued with the capacity to bend the trajectory of history by how we choose to live. Like a musician carrying both sorrow and jubilation in a single melody, the Son of Man weaves our everyday struggles into the tapestry of divine meaning. He shows us that there is no cleavage between the dust under our feet and the vault of heaven above. They are bound together in a single story, where mortal life itself becomes the pathway to redemption. Throughout the Gospels, the Son of Man speaks of suffering, sacrifice, and a kingdom not of this world. People gathered in crowds to hear him teach about love for enemies and kindness to strangers. They watched as he defied the oppressive customs that held the broken-hearted in chains of shame. Rhetorically, he challenged them, which is easier, to say, "Your sins are forgiven," or to say, "Get up and walk." And through moments like these, it became clear that he was modeling a type of leadership that would not merely reform society's surface, but transform it from within. It was an invitation for every individual to step into the human predicament and discover, amid the clamor of daily life, a divine calling resonating in every act of mercy, justice, or courage. Across the globe, and centuries earlier, the traditions of ancient India taught about Dharma, a word layered with meaning, duty, righteousness, cosmic balance, and the law that governs the moral fabric of the universe. Dharma reminds us that our words and actions are never isolated events. They ripple across our communities and echo through time, either contributing to the harmony of creation or disturbing its delicate equilibrium. In the Bhagavad Gita, the warrior Arjuna learns from the divine teacher Krishna that one must perform their righteous duty without attachment to outcomes, for it is action grounded in selfless love that nourishes the cosmic order. In Buddhism, the bodhisattva is willing to postpone personal liberation so that others may find release from suffering, echoing the profound idea that the pursuit of truth is always woven together with compassion. This concept of Dharma, though born in Eastern tradition, speaks universally. It asks each of us a question that resonates with our everyday struggles. How shall we live in such a way that our gifts, our resources, and our personal inclinations serve the flourishing of the larger whole? How do we ensure that our pursuit of success or happiness does not harm others or neglect our responsibility towards society? The Dharmic path is built on humility, rooted in the understanding that nothing in the cosmos exists merely for itself. One person's restlessness can become another's suffering, and one person's act of kindness can become the catalyst for another's liberation. In stories from the lives of great exemplars, we see how standing for truth often means sacrificing comfort. In these moments, Dharma and the calling of the Son of Man intersect. Both beckon us to step into the gap where injustice and suffering loom largest, to realign the moral compass of humanity. Whether it is the figure of Jesus willingly walking the road to Golgotha, or the Bodhisattva who renounces nirvana so that others may be free, the redemptive power of selfless service emerges as the crowning jewel of spiritual life. And for us, in our modern context, this prompts a reflection. Are we living as though our choices have cosmic significance? Are we awakening each day, ready to stitch another thread of goodness and harmony into the universal tapestry? Uniting the title Son of Man with the framework of Dharma reveals a compelling image of how humanity can become a conduit of cosmic justice. In referencing his own suffering, Jesus highlighted an experience that the Dharma traditions interpret as a transformative catalyst. We glimpse parallels in the figure of the Bodhisattva who vows, "I will not seek final release until all living beings are freed." This radical stance of love underscores that pain, when shouldered on behalf of others, contains the seeds of renewal. When the Son of Man voices his mission to serve rather than to be served, he echoes the heart of Dharma, which insists that selfless acts restore balance not only in our own hearts, but in the entire universe. Yet there is more to this meeting of East and West than shared themes of compassion. Both the Gospels and the Dharmic texts emphasize the importance of moral leadership. Leaders who embody humility and righteousness become beacons of hope, pointing to the possibilities of a world rooted in truth. Jesus' consistent challenge to established authorities disrupted the status quo that perpetuated injustice, just as the Dharmic heroes often stood up against entrenched systems for the sake of protecting the vulnerable. By aligning ourselves with this universal law of compassion, we join a lineage that understands all beings as interconnected, each life a facet of the cosmic whole. Here a subtle but profound unity emerges. Our choices are not private. When the Son of Man warns of a coming judgment or promises reward for the meek and the merciful, he proclaims that our thoughts and actions ripple through the moral fabric of the cosmos. Dharma speaks the same language through the principle of karma, the recognition that our deeds will boomerang back into our lives and the collective reality we share. By listening to these ancient voices, we find ourselves beckoned toward a daily quest to pay attention to our small acts, our words, our generosity, our patience, and realize they are cosmic in scope, bearing witness to the interplay between humanity and eternity. Standing at this intersection where the Son of Man meets Dharma, we find that the lines between distinct traditions blur into a portrait of human potential. Are we not all in some measure caught between our imperfect mortal lives and the longing for a higher order? Are we not continually invited to become participants in a universal movement that binds compassion to justice, humility to dignity, and individual redemption to communal well-being? Echoing throughout the centuries, these questions beg us to respond with the totality of our minds and hearts. If Jesus, in his solidarity with human suffering, still points us toward hope and transformation, and if the Dharma leads us to restore the equilibrium of existence through our daily choices, then we stand before a simple yet startling possibility. Our lives matter in ways we can scarcely fathom. Perhaps that is the greatest invitation of all. In the face of apathy, it challenges us to care more deeply. In a world that often prioritizes self-interest, it calls us to serve. In communities steeped in division, it envisions reconciliation grounded in respect for every being. Whether we name this universal truth as Dharma or see it shining through the figure of the Son of Man, we discover a unifying thread. We are not alone on the road of struggle and growth. And that realization can guide us to live boldly, choosing compassion and courage over complacency, forging a harmony that bridges heaven and earth with every step we take.